Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everybody had a great week. I hope everybody woke up ready to start their day and have great expectations in mind for what today will bring. When we think about the great things, it doesn't leave us much time to worry about, what may go wrong. So have great expectations every morning when you wake up because you just never know what the day may bring. So if you expect something great, the chances that your day will go better are much more likely than it is if you wake up in a bad mood, expecting things not to go so well. I always feel like we get whatever we think about the most. If we think that everything is going to be okay, then 9 times out of 10, everything is going to be okay. I may sound a little raspy this morning because I feel like a cold is trying to come on. I'm going to have to get me something later today to try to prevent from getting a cold. The weather is changing here in Florida. It's kind of cold this morning. It goes from cold to hot to cold. So that kind of leaves us Floridians a little vulnerable to getting sick. So excuse me if you can hear, that in my voice this morning. But today what I want to talk about is our past and how some people will allow their past to define who they are today. And they will make a negative projection of their future based on what they've been through in their past. Your past does not define you. It does not. Don't ever let anybody tell you any differently. Your past, anything that you may have done, anything that someone may have done to you, or anything that you did before you knew any better, does not define who you are, and it does not predict where you are going in your future. Now, what you can do is do whatever you can do on today at the present moment to ensure that your future will be much brighter. But your future is not predicted by your past. Whatever you did in your past, that's the past. And things that we go through, we go through them so that we can learn, so that we can know to do better. When you know better, you do better. As Maya Angelou so so she said, when you know better, you do better. Point blank, period. And when you're young, it's a lot of things that you don't know. Nobody is born with a handbook on how to live their lives. We have the Bible, but we have the Bible, but a lot of the things in the Bible, a lot of people can't quite understand. I'm a grown woman, and some things I don't quite understand about the Bible. And the Bible is all up to interpretation. A person can only interpret based on their level of understanding at any given time in their life. So if you can't interpret the Bible when you're a young girl to be something that you can apply to your life, then it's really useless. That's why it's good to go to Bible study or go to church or consult with someone who has a little bit more insight than you may have. But other than the Bible, no one is born with a handbook. So we kind of feel our way through life to see what works for us. So if someone judges you based on things that you did in your youth, then that just shows ignorance on their part, on their behalf, because everybody goes through things when they're young because we're just trying to feel our way through life to see, basically what works for us, what we need to do, and what we need not to do. So don't ever let anybody make you feel bad about anything you've been through in your past. Your past is just that, your past. Nobody walks and look backwards at the same time. So when we're moving forward, we have to put place our eyes, our focus on what's ahead of us, not on what's behind us. What's behind us is irrelevant to where we are going. So I've had a lot of times in my life where people have, they will remember me from different phases in my life that I went through as a young woman, just basically trying to feel my way through life. And they'll remind me of the things that I have done, or the things that, things from my past that I really want to just put behind me and leave behind me, because I'm no longer that woman. I'm no longer that girl. I have grown up, and I realize that some of the things I won't really call them. Um, I won't really say that I regret some of the things that I did, because it 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 made me who I am. So I really can't say I regret it, because had I not gone through certain things, I would not be the woman that I am on today. I always say that I made mistakes, but my mistakes are what made me. We make mistakes in life, but until we make those mistakes, we will never like really figure out what works for us and what does not work for us. Everybody is different. Some of the things that I may call mistakes may be something that works for another person. So it's a personal journey that we're on to come into who we are, who we truly are. So some people may say, oh, I made that mistake and I regretted it. But don't regret the things that you've done, because those things are what made you who you are today. And hopefully you're proud of who you are today. And if you're not, strive to be better in the present moment. Forget about what you did in the past, and just, look at what you can do on today to make sure your future is much brighter than your past. Make sure you're heading in the right direction in life, instead of repeating your history. If your history is something that you find unfavorable. Um, Another thing I want to talk about is how we each are like magnets, and we draw to us the experiences that we want to encounter in life. I believe in the law of attraction, and I always start my videos off by saying I'm going to talk about the law of attraction, and I never seem to get a chance to. But today I just want to touch briefly on it. It's very detailed, the law of attraction is. So it's kind of hard to fit all of the information into a 10 or 15-minute YouTube video. But I just want to say basically what the law of attraction states is that we are all magnets, and we draw like energies to us. We are energy fields, and whatever our most dominant feelings or our dominant thoughts or the things that we want the most is what we're always going to get. Whatever we put off into the world, that's what's going to come back to us. And it's so true that we are magnets. We draw experiences to us, and the experience. And some people may sit and think that I didn't draw this bad situation to me, but really you did, because even if it's a bad situation that comes your way, it's a learning experience. It might not be something that you want, but it's an opportunity so that you can learn something. So it's like we always draw based on what we want and what we need. Whatever we want and whatever we need will be drawn to us. If we need to learn a lesson, someone will come our way to teach us that lesson. So essentially, we still drew that experience to us. And also, like, whatever we want, we must first be. Whatever we want to receive, we must first give. We we must become what we want. If I want to be in a loving relationship, I must first be in loving relationships. I must first have a loving relationship with myself. I have to love myself. I can't feel as though I'm empty because I don't have love yet. No, love comes, first of all from God. We are love in the flesh, and we have to learn to love ourselves as God loves us. And once we love ourselves, then love will be drawn magnetically to us because we are love. And love comes in all forms. I'm not just stating in a form of a romantic relationship. I'm stating in the form of friendships. Love, just unconditional love. And we have to first love ourselves in order to get love, a genuine love from someone else. I mean, there are all types of imitations of everything has an imitation for it. There are imitations of love, so if you're not really loving yourself or, truly loving yourself, you may attract to you someone who won't truly love you. We have to first love ourselves and be a friend to ourselves, and some whatever we want must first come through us in order for us to draw that thing to us. So we have to be genuine, be the real, you know be real at all times, be your genuine self at all times, so that you will receive back to you what's genuine. I see a lot of people who really don't know who they are. They don't know, they base their life on what they think is the right thing to do instead of just doing. And a lot of people like to say, I'm trying to do, I'm trying. And I say, why don't you just be, instead of trying, try being, just be who you are. When we are who we are, I don't care how bad or how good you are. If you're a bad person and that's just who you are, I can respect that that's who you are. If you are a bad person pretending to be a good person, then I can't respect that, because you're not being who you are. I can respect people for who they are, but what I find difficult respecting is someone who is who is not truly being who they are. That's just like I always say, if a person, I respect a person who doesn't like me more than I respect a person who pretends to like me but really doesn't. I respect the person who doesn't like me because, they're not putting up any front. They're not, being phony. They're not smiling in my face, and as soon as I leave talking about me behind my back, they just upfront about it. I don't like you. And I can smile and respect them and walk away and, do my best not to place myself in their path. I can respect that, if a person don't like me. But what I have a problem, respecting is somebody who really doesn't like me, but smiles and laughs and giggles, and it's always, pretending that they do. That I have no respect for. It's just so much easier to just be who we are. I mean, it's just so much easier to be who we are. When who we are, we draw to us that match. We attract to us magnetically a match to who we are, what we need, and where we're going. Everything is going to match up in our lives. And, I feel like everybody should have a spiritual relationship, you know, have a relationship with God. In my last video, I talked about like how we all have a butterfly inside of us. And this morning, as I was preparing to do the video, I just had like, I guess like an epiphany about the butterfly. I have a poem called Butterfly too. In the poem, I'm talking about when I die, because we're all going to die. A lot of people don't like talking about their impending death, but it really does not faze me at all, because I know that when I die, I'm going to a much better place. My soul will finally be free, and it won't be confined to this physical manifestation of who I am. I will be free, just like a butterfly that's in a cocoon, and the butterfly is released, out of the cocoon to be free. Um, I look at a butterfly as our soul, and I look at the cocoon as our physical bodies. Um, it's just, to me, butterfly butterfly symbol freedom, freedom to be who you are. We all have to connect to something more spiritual so that we can realize who we truly are, and so that we can be ourselves. Just just be free to be I'm free to be me. Be free to be you. Just be yourself so that you will get what you're supposed to get because that's who God made you to be. It's just so much easier that way. And the best gift that being myself has given me is that the people who like me and want to be around me, they're around me because I'm being myself, not because I'm being anything other than. Some people pretend to be so that they can have people around them, but now you have drawn people around you based on a false pretense. It's better to just be yourself. I'm going to end this video. I hope everybody have a great weekend. Try to stay warm. Fall is definitely come upon us. So everybody have a great weekend. Have a happy Friday and many blessings to you. I will see you all back here on Monday morning. Blessings.